I'm here with you today to talk about one really subtle and really big misconception about relationship. And that is that relationship requires compromise. And what I want to share with you today is that to have a wholesome, joyful, sustainable relationship, intimate relationship, you actually can't compromise. You have to not compromise because compromise will degrade your connection over time. Now, what I mean by this is that in order to be truly available in an intimate relationship, we have to have a connection to our authentic selves inside that is wholesome and free, that allows us to express ourselves authentically, because from this place is where our genuine joy stems from. If we don't have this connection inside ourselves, then what is going on in our relationship experience? We may love someone tremendously and enjoy someone tremendously, but our love and our joy for them is not enough by itself to sustain a wholesome relationship. If that's the main thing that we have going on, then the dynamic that has to arise from that is one in which we are getting our sense of love and joy from the other person. And when we're doing that, we are automatically plugging into a set of dynamics that produces control issues between us and our partner. Because if what they're doing is our source of joy, then they need to do things the way we want them to do things in order to guarantee our joy. So it's really important for the health of both people in the relationship that each of us have a connection with our authentic self, from which joy naturally stems within ourselves. And then we bring our wholeness to the relationship to share with the other person. So this is a deep work. This is one of the elements of deep work that relationships give us the opportunity to do for our own growth. How to be intimately involved with another person and yet not compromise on our authentic nature. So a baseline of what this means, okay, is that we've got to understand a nature of self that goes deeper than our ego structure. Because the ego structure is our library of beliefs that's all about who we think we are and what we think goes on in the world when we have been outwardly focused on trying to control things. That is what our ego structure really is. So if we want to try to not compromise on our ego structure, that spells catastrophe, okay? Like, that is just out and out control. The kind of experience of self that we want to not compromise on is this experience of self that is obedient to the energy of divine love within us. And that we cannot compromise on. First of all, we need to have the discipline to connect to that space inside ourselves so that we can even have an opportunity to show up that way for ourselves and in our relationship. And as we find that connection and practice that connection, we will come into such a level of balance and ease inside ourselves that it allows us to be comfortable, joyful, and to allow our partner to be themselves. So we're not trying to control them for our own comfort. We are comfortable in ourselves and we're saying, hey, how are you doing today? What is the nature of yourself unfolding in this moment? And I will share with you the nature of myself unfolding in this moment. So what we're really talking about is a relationship where both people are committed to being the self that love is unfolding from the center of our being in each moment. That is why we can't compromise, because there is no alternative to what love is unfolding in our center except for the ego. That's the only alternative, but that's a completely dysfunctional alternative. So in order for us to be wholly functional and healthy, we're designed to function in partnership with divine love energy, and we can't compromise on that. So all the ways that our ego collected of how to control our reality by trying to be liked and trying to fit in and trying to make sure that that we are pleasing the people who we want love from so that they will give us the love that we're looking for. There's so many subconscious patterns that we've all collected along these lines. That is, those are the challenges that come up that make it really hard for us to have the clarity and the strength to be our authentic selves, particularly in a partnership, romantic partnership relationship. Those are the hardest relationships to be clear in, because the stakes feel so high to us emotionally that it touches our deepest wounds of feeling like we aren't worthy of love, and so it makes it kind of hard. But if we fail to do the work of finding how to be our authentic selves in relationship, how to be an extension of love in our relationship, then what happens is our will becomes tired. We become tired. There's the joylessness sets in, and people are always talking about how, the spark goes away after a while. Well, the reason why is because we're living out a tired story with a bunch of control dynamics, and that is the nature of ego relationships. But when you have a holy relationship, when both people are committed to their alignment with love inside themselves, and then come to the relationship sharing the unfoldment of self in that beautiful, raw unknown that's connected with divine love, that is a kind of relationship where there's excitement in the everyday moments of life, and the spark never goes away, because there's always a new spark in a sense, because you are striving to live in the holy instant together. So, and it's that we can't compromise on, because we can't compromise on our inner relationship with love. That is the foundation for the health of all of our relationships. So I hope you found this helpful. And I do have a guide that I can send you if you are interested. 5 ways that you can. So one of the problems that we have when we're trying to maintain our authenticity is when we bump up against our subconscious patterns and we rush and we feel like, oh God, something's going to go wrong. If I try to be my authentic self right now, I'm going to bump up against conflict. So that's one of the more difficult places for us to navigate. So I have a gift for you if you're interested, 5 ways to navigate those types of situations. And if you're interested, just leave me a note in the comments, and I'll get you connected with that. Thank you. Have a great day.